On the ZTV Sports Report this week,
Cindy King has been a major part of the Lady Zips' success. We asked her what the difference was and more.
And also on the Full Court Press with Sartaj and Ben, we discussed some devastating news for our men's basketball team.
Plus, we recap the week that was with our winter athletic programs.
All that and more on the ZTV Sports Report that starts
right now. We welcome you this week to the ZTV Sports Report.
I'm Casey Hotchkiss.
And I'm Sartaj Ojala.
We start off our show than no other place than James A. Road Arena.
The Toledo Rockets, Miami of Ohio Redhawks, and Ohio Bobcats, two teams hoping to take flight while one hoping to take a bite.
Let's see if these teams succeeded in their plans.
Coming off a loss to Eastern Michigan, the Zips hosted the Toledo Rockets at the Jar on February 18th. J.D. Witherspoon would get Toledo started as he hits the hook shot over Quan Cheatham for the Zips, and Tino Jackson started in place for Noah Robotham, who was out with flu-like symptoms. Jackson hits a three from the corner. Jackson here also showing off some speed as he bursts into the lane and scores the easy layup. Julius Brown, who was lethal in this game for the Rockets, is able to hit the runner for Toledo. DG Ibatayo muscles his way into the paint as he scores the basket and goes to the line for the and one. Isaiah Johnson dishes the ball out to Aaron Jackson, who splashes in the three. At half, the Rockets would lead the Zips 38-36. Starting the half, Julius Brown would get the steal, run baseline to baseline for the easy layup. The Zips showing some urgency on defense as BJ Gladden says, "Not up in here," with a big-time block. Nathan Booth puts a spin move on Isaiah Johnson for the easy bucket. Julius Brown with another steal and goes baseline to baseline for the second time. Booth this time hits the jump shot. Booth would finish the night with 16 points. The Zips keeping the pace with Toledo as Malcolm Walters scores off the floater. Quan Cheatham left wide open hits the easy shot, and the big man Pat Forsyth showing off some range of his own. As the final seconds draw near, it's Julius Brown who puts the dagger in the Zips. Brown would finish the night with 21 points. Last shot for the Zips as Jake Kretzer heaves the ball down to Quan Cheatham. Cheatham would miss the basket and the Zips would fall to Toledo 38.
Akron Zips faced off against the Miami Redhawks at the James A. Rhodes Arena. Antonio Jackson gets the game started off as he scores the first points with this finger roll layup. Then, off a Reggie McAdams miss, Pat Forsyth's finally able to get the ball and get the quick putback. The Zips struggled from downtown as they were 7-32 on the evening, but we see Cheatham make two, Ibatayo and Robotham each make one, and the Zips open the game on a 17-6 run. But the Redhawks would claw their way back as Eric Washington hits a three, followed by a steal and a quick two from Will Sullivan. Willie Moore would drive his way to the paint both times, and the Redhawks would go into halftime leading 23-22. The Zips kick off the second half with this awesome behind-the-back pass from Robotham to Ibatayo for the slam. Isaiah Big Dog Johnson was hungry as he scored 6 straight points, followed by a DG Ibatayo layup just over a 2-minute span, and the Zips were up 38-30. Cheatham hits his third three, but then Will Sullivan says, "Anything you can do, I can do better," by tying the game. 30 seconds left, Antonio Jackson makes this incredible shot, but more importantly, he misses his free throw. Eric Washington makes these 2 free throws, and we're headed into overtime. Will Sullivan then splashes this huge three. Final chance for the Zips. Reggie McAdams inbound cannot get to Quan Cheatham, and that would seal the deal. The Zips lost 57-52. And on top of that, point guard Noah Robotham tore his ACL late in the game.
On Friday, February 27th, the Akron Zips hosted the Ohio University Bobcats in a MAC Conference basketball game. The Bobcats opened up strong in this one, going on a 7-0 run in the first 3 minutes by a three here by Ryan Taylor, and a second-point opportunity scored by Antonio Campbell. And the Zips will respond with Antonio Jackson passing inside to Isaiah Johnson, who passes over to Forsyth, and Big Pat slams this one home. Big Pat with the ball again, working his way through 2 defenders, shimmies his way through, and lays the contested layup. The Bobcats held strong in the first half of this one by capitalizing on second chance opportunities. But the Zips are making moves as Antino Jackson gets the defensive rebound, tips the ball to himself over a defender, drives it down court, and finds DJ Ebatayo for the open three, and he nails it. Akron was able to close out the first half with a 27-23 lead. Akron came out strong in the second half as Big Dog spins his way in to make this basket. The Bobcats continue to capitalize on the second chance opportunity as they put one back here. But OU just didn't have enough in them as Akron players put on a show with a three-point clinic led by Antino Jackson, who nailed 3 out of 4 threes in the second half. Antino Jackson was helped out by his teammates Niles Evans and Reggie McAdams, who helped lift the Zips to a 70-58 victory. And the game's top performers for Akron was Antino Jackson, who had 13 points and 5 assists, and for Ohio University, it was Antonio Campbell, who had 17 points and 11 rebounds.
After losing 4 straight games, the Zips were able to pull it together and beat OU 70-58.
Our track team was in action. How did they fare?
Let's hurdle on over and see what transpired.
Zippy gets things started off at the Akron Invitational as the Akron Zips hosted the Youngstown State Penguins. John Dahlstrand gets a high jump of 1.98 meters for a silver medal finish. Kyle Walker claimed the first place in the men's 60-meter hurdles. Senior Alexis Cooks was able to celebrate senior night with a first-place finish in the weight toss with an enormous throw of 21.54 meters. Clayton Murphy then goes on to set another record for the University of Akron with a time of 1 minute 47 seconds and 82 milliseconds to win the men's 800-meter dash. Congratulations, Clay. Now we move on to the main event. Sean Barber is up and he clears 19 meters here on this jump. Sean Barber has cleared 19 meters in 6 out of 7 competitions for the Zips this season. The following weekend, the men's team would go on to claim its 2nd consecutive MAC championship and 5th overall. The women's team would go on to finish 2nd place overall in the championship.
The Zips certainly ran to a victory in the Zips Invitational.
Congratulations to the track teams. Don't go anywhere, we have so much more for you.
We'll be right back after these commercial messages. Welcome back to the ZTV Sports Report.
Our Lady Zips took on the Ohio Bobcats and the Kent State Golden Flashes.
Nearing the end of MAC play, the MAC tournament is just around the corner. Can the Lady Zips make a statement nearing their finale? Let's take a look at the moving pictures.
The team huddles up to take on the Ohio Bobcats. Carrie McMahon starts off the game with a layup, followed by Cinna King, who spins around and makes a shot. The Bobcats' Kiana Black goes up for a 3 and swoops it in. Hannah Plybon has the ball and shoots a 3 for the Zips. Anita Brown controls the ball and takes it up for a layup. Mariah Byard bounces the ball to Jasmine Weatherspoon for a layup. Cinna King fakes a shot and takes it up to score. Cinna King gets the ball on a rebound and puts it back up and makes it in. Deandra Gibson shoots a 3 at the top of the key. Kiera Lampkins goes up for a shot and knocks Gibson down. Carrie McMahon shoots and the ball bounces off the back of the rim and goes in. Anita Brown follows Lampkins down the court and smacks her shot down. Mariah Byard bounces a pass to Jasmine Weatherspoon for 2. Mariah Byard shoves Plybon off her to make an unbalanced shot. Anita Brown jumps up and makes a shot. A long pass from Anita Brown to Cinna King for a layup, but still the Zips are falling behind. McMahon jumps up and shoots the ball. Brown recovers the ball and shoots a layup from the outside. Deandra Gibson shoots a 3, looks to her left and sees it swoop in. Hannah Bosinger gets the ball and goes for a 3. Alex Ricketts passes the ball to Cinna King for a layup. Hannah Plybon has good movement around 2 Bobcats to make a layup. The Zips did not prevail and lost the Ohio Bobcats 71-55.
The Lady Zips took on their heated rivals Kent State on the road in key MAC play. Cinna King would kick us off with a roll to the basket for 2 points. Golden Flashes would respond as the pass inside to Jordan Kornick, who puts it up between 2 Zips defenders. Akron's Deandra Gibson would send a lightning bolt to the hoop for 3, causing storm clouds instead of snow clouds to form in Kent, Ohio, as Hannah Plybon adds to the reigning 3 parade. May want to check those weather forecast meteorologists. Cinna King would call for the ball inside. The Flashes denied her shot, but Anita Brown would clean up the offensive possession. Akron keeping the game close as Plybon would drive in and float a teardrop into the basket. Kent showing some retaliation as Melanie Stubbs with the jumper inside would keep the game close as we head into halftime to the score 20-21 Akron. Zips, emphasizing passing the rock as the ball's long journey around the world ends in a King 3. CC Shannon showing strength inside as the Flashes keep the game closer. Flashes get a key offensive possession, but Gibson with the steal would rev up her engine as she NASCARs her way to the layup. Flashes not showing quit as McKenna Stevens would hit a key jumper, and later free throws would give Kent the advantage. However, a King must rally its troops in times of need, and Cinna King delivers with only little time left after the shot, and would seal the deal as the Zips leave Kent victorious 54-53. Cinna King finished with 20 points and 12 rebounds in the contest, while Nita Brown contributed with 14 points and 2 steals. Larissa Larkin was Kent State's leading scorer with 11 points.
Cinna King hit the game-winning shot to lead Akron to victory.
Certainly she has been a huge factor in her senior season. We're able to catch up with her and talk more about her closing college career.
22, Cinna King. At the other forward for Akron.
Is this live?
No.
Oh, okay. So I can mess up?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We have 2 cameras, so you can mess up all you want.
Do I look at you, or do I these are angled, so I look at him?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So sorry.
2013, I believe in August, I was diagnosed with a pulmonary embolism. I had a DVT, which is the deep vein thrombosis in your leg that turned into a pulmonary embolism. I had to be on blood thinners for 6 months, which is why I couldn't play, because you can't have contact while you're on blood thinners. I was taken off the medication, and kind of from there on, you just build yourself back up, get back in shape. I worked out with Coach Boxlot, who's no longer with us, who's at St. Louis, but he helped me, as well as our strength coach Jamie and our trainer Mark, got me back to where I needed to be. Wanted to get back to the MAC championship game. We wanted to go to postseason. We wanted to go to the NCAA. So we had, from early start, we had high expectations. I think that's how it always should be, and so far we've been pretty successful in reaching those. There was 14 seconds left. Coach Kess called a play. Play we ran, either I have a shot or Ply, the girl in the corner, has a shot. Thinking those two things, score or pass, 14 seconds. Plan is to get a dietech internship for dietetics. I am getting my master's, so I want to graduate in August with my master's in exercise physiology. So hopefully the plan is to get an internship. Playing overseas is always an option. Maybe going to coaching. There's so many options, but just kind of taking it one step at a time, and just finishing the season is the main objective right now.
As we are getting closer to the tournament, Brian Bielko gives us a glimpse of what's happening in the MAC.
Let's check in on Brian in the control room, where he has the news you have all been waiting for.
Hey guys, Brian here with your MAC update of the week. With basketball conference play coming to an end this coming week, and with the MAC tournament starting on March 11th, let's take a look at the standings for both the men's and women's. For the men's East, Bowling Green is leading the division, followed by Kent, Buffalo, then Akron. The East is anyone's game because they're all within a win or two of each other. In the West, the leader is Central Michigan with Toledo, Western Michigan, and then Eastern Michigan falling in behind. On the women's side, Ohio University is running the East with Akron on their heels and Buffalo falling a little behind that. For the West, Ball State is running the show with Toledo and Western Michigan following them up. Since spring is just around the corner and hopefully warmer weather comes with it, because with warm weather brings baseball and softball. The MAC has currently started their season down south and out west, where it's a lot warmer than here. Personally, I'm kind of jealous of those teams. I wouldn't mind being somewhere warm, probably like Miami. But I have more coverage for you once they return home for play. That's all the time I have for this week. I'm Brian Bielko, and this has been your MAC Update. Back to you guys.
Killed it! Killed it! Killed it! That's what I'm talking about.
Thanks, Brian. That was certainly a lot of news for you to digest, so we're going to go ahead and give you a quick breather as we go to commercials.
So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back in a few short minutes. Welcome back. Sartaj, I believe there's a tournament coming up.
I believe you are talking of the MAC tournament. We go ahead and take a look at the entire picture of the competition.
I'm Daniel Cermak, and I'm here with special guest Tyler Warner, and we're here to discuss the MAC tournament. We're going to do our spoiler pick, sleeper pick, and then player to watch, and then ultimate who we think is going to win the tournament. So getting started here with our spoiler pick. My spoiler pick is Miami. Right now they're playing really well. In a 3-game stretch, they beat Bowling Green, Kent State, and Akron all in a row. So I think right now they're getting hot at the right time, and they can beat anyone heading into the tournament.
I agree with that, but I think Northern Illinois is going to be my spoiler. They've been playing tough in some big games. They're a 3-ball shooting team. They played tough with Central and Kent State, who are both really, really high in the standings now. They beat Toledo. They beat Akron. Trevon Baker had 18 points against Toledo, and we couldn't get anything done when we went to Toledo as the Zips. So I think they definitely been playing really well, so they're my spoiler pick.
My sleeper pick is going to be Buffalo. They have a lot of talent. Justin Moss is like a monster inside. He can get pretty much anything he wants, especially they really did well against Akron especially. So I think their stamina issues will ultimately prevent them from making it all the way.
See, my sleeper pick, I'm going to keep in the family. You cannot count out Keith Dambrot. Don't put the fork in the Zip squad yet. They hang tough in every game. They haven't been blown out this season. Kretzer brings it. DG brings it in the tournament. They've proven that over their time here. And the bigs need to play hard, free throws need to be hit, but I think if they can finish games, then they're gonna go far.
All right, now we're going on to the player to watch for the tournament. My player to watch is Chris Fowler, guard from Central Michigan. He can drop 40. He's done it before this year. He's averaging 15 a game, 6 assists, so he's really spreads the ball out too. He can score and he can dish it out. So I think if you can drop a lot of points, if one player can drop a lot of points in the tournament, he can make some noise for his team.
And my player to watch in the tournament is going to be Kent State forward Jimmy Hall. He's 6'7", 235. He's a big guy. He can grab rebounds. He's 7 boards a game, 15 points per game. He's had some huge games this year, dropping 25 at Bowling Green and 32 at Ball State. He's a show-up guy. He's there when you need him. So I think he'll be very crucial to this Kent squad success.
All right, now we're going on to who we think is going to win the tournament. And my winner is Toledo. They're a full team. J.D. Weatherspoon's awesome. Juice Brown is awesome. And he showed against Akron that he can hit some clutch shots, so I think it's going to come up huge. They play a tough non-conference schedule, too.
I agree with that. I think we're in the same boat on that. Toledo is the complete package in the MAC. Ohio State transfer, mixtape Weatherspoon. He plays hard. He does some crazy stuff against some people that aren't really ready for it. Juice plays really hard, too. He's always there when you need him. He's clutch. He's got that in his veins. And when they play a full 40 minutes, they're tough to beat.
All right, now that's all we have for this MAC preview. Thank you.
I can't wait to see what transpires in the MAC tournament. Now let's move the spotlight back to Akron as Sartaj and Ben discuss a certain heartbreak in men's basketball. Hello everyone and welcome back to another edition of Full Court Press. My name is Elliot Georgiadis and I'm joined again by Sartaj Ojala and Ben Jeanette. So for today's first topic, we're going to be discussing the huge loss of point guard Noah Robotham and how the team dealt with that in their game against Ohio University, which the Zips won 70-58. So Ben, let's start with you. What'd you think?
I was very surprised. Again, team coming off 4 straight losses. Probably the biggest loss is the loss of starting point guard Noah Robotham. So you ask yourself, how is this team going to respond? After the Buffalo game, this team was really down, coach was down, and there's a chance that a young team like this could fold and just call it a season. But that's not what I saw. I saw a team really come together and respond. And you start asking yourself before the game starts, who's going to step up for the Zips and who's going to be that one guy? And there really wasn't that one guy. Yes, Antonio Jackson stepped up huge in place of Noah Robotham, but the bench came up big time in this game, 24-5, outscoring OU's bench points, and Reggie McAdams with 11 points. So I really saw a team come together and say, look, we're not done, the season's not over, and we want to keep going.
That's a great point, Penn. I love that you say that because I think team unity was something that made a big difference in that game. What about you, Sartaj?
One of the things I do want to open up with is that after the Kent State game, Keith Dambrot really attested to Noah Robotham's basic confidence and just his meaning to the team, and that showed to me. Akron unfortunately lost a leader when Noah Robotham went down, and wish quick recovery for him as a freshman, devastating injury.
You guys have both made great points, and we keep reflecting back to the thing that we first talked about in our first edition of Full Court Press, and we questioned his decision and how he played his players and how he used players off the bench. But I think the guy really knows what he's doing, because how many more key players are we going to lose this season, and we keep coming back even stronger, and I think it's incredibly impressive.
Oh yeah, and I think that's just a testament to how great of a coach Keith Dambrot is. And here's another thing about how great of a coach he is. Willis and Nador, two guys that torched the Zips down in Athens, had 40 points in that game combined? Well, not so much. They shot a combined 6 of 22 in this game. So the Zips really stepped it up on defense to go to the two guys that, hey, we have the depth here, but we need to shut the two guys down that could really hurt us and then run OU out of gas. And that's exactly what they did.
And even though OU is only 9-18 and 4-12 in the MAC, this was a must-win for the Zips.
Yeah.
After losing 4 straight, easily this team could have written themselves off and not show up in this game. And to have them beat Ohio, which they should beat, that's big to the Zips, showing that they might be back on track.
You know, going forward from this win, what do you guys think their chances are in the MAC tournament? How far do you see them getting? So, Sartaj, why don't you start us off?
When we talk about the MAC tournament, it's a whole different beast. Whenever you talk about postseason or playoff play, it's totally different. The loss of Noah Robotham may not have impacted them this season immediately, but it's going to affect them in the postseason. One of the things that Akron has done, and we've seen it in the Charleston Classic when they beat USC and South Carolina, is just how Noah Robotham and Antino Jackson play off of each other. Noah Robotham can easily play off the ball if Antino Jackson's in there, and Antino Jackson can easily play off the ball if Noah Robotham's in there. They're able to stretch the court and really distribute the ball overall. And with the loss of Noah Robotham, we're not going to get that anymore. We're losing a huge dynamic to our offense. And in the MAC tournament, your front court is going to get you stay in the MAC tournament, but your back court is what's going to keep you going to the next level. So losing Noah Robotham, that's huge.
That's a very good point. That's a very good point. What do you think, Ben?
I think the losses is going to be huge. You know, you've lost 2 prime players on this team from Treadwell and Robotham. So, but we've seen this team come together, and I saw that happen. And the depth of this team, I think, is going to be such an advantage. Again, you had 2 guys that only played over 27 minutes for the Zips. We're down here at the stretch of the games. Guys are starting to get tired. Little injuries start to become nagging injuries. Going forward, that's what Keith has to do, is keep these guys fresh and keep them focused. And I think this team has the chance to make a run in the tournament.
You see as being like maybe the biggest challenge for the Zips to overcome heading into the MAC tournament as far as how far they could get?
You know, as I said before, the MAC East is just a weird division in the MAC tournament this year. There's no real leader in the MAC East. So I think, you know, when you're looking at Bowling Green, you got Rashawn Green, Kent State has Jimmy Hall back. There's a lot of players in the East that can really give the Zips a run for their money. And one of the things that you mentioned too is the second half. The Zips know how to show up in the second half. I find a little problem in that in the first half, they really start out really slow. I mean, we mentioned in the Ohio game, the Zips only were 25% from three-point range, and then the second half completely dominated, 58.3%. They need to get that going in the first half if they really want to stay in this tournament, because in the tournament, you can't afford to have a slow start. You need to start fast. And one player I do want to mention that really needs to show up in this tournament to replace Noah Robotham, it's Niles Evans. Someone that we really looked at this season to really have a big up season, especially this is his senior year. But with us, we're starting to see Niles Evans not really take that role, and we need to really have him take over what Robotham has left.
Well, unfortunately, that is all the time we have today. Thank you guys so much once again for all of your insight, and thank you guys for watching. For Full Court Press, I'm Elliot Georgiadis.
It will be interesting to see how the team comes together after the loss of Robotham. We have shown a bevy of highlights, but which ones made Daniel's top 5? Well, let's send it over to Daniel to find out.
I'm Daniel Cermak, and I'm here for the top plays for Show 3. Getting started here at number 5, we have Antino Jackson, who, in the open court, taps the ball up over the Ohio defender's head, then drives into the lane, kicks it back out to Ibatayo, who hits the 3. More from Antino Jackson later. And by later, I mean right now, at number 4, where Antino Jackson, he had a huge game against Ohio, scored 13 points, had 5 assists. Here, he hits a 3 from the parking lot. Then, someone give Maurice Andor a map, as Antino crosses him over, then drills a 3. And now, moving on to number 3, more from the Ohio game. Reggie McAdams on the defensive end gets a nice block, then transitioning to the offensive side, hits a huge 3 showing Reggie range. Forget Jimmer range, we have Reggie range. And at number 2, we have the men's basketball game against Miami, and I know what you're thinking, yes, good things did happen during this game. Here, Noah Robotham gets in the open court, gives the behind-the-back pass to Gigi Batayo, who finishes with the dunk. Now we're moving on to number 1, and helpful hint for Akron athletes, if you want to improve your performance, schedule an interview with the ZTV Sports Report, because last show we scheduled Sean Barber for an interview, and just before that he set the collegiate record for pole vault. You know, we don't plan these things out, it just happens. And now we schedule Senna King for an interview, and then she hits the game winner against Kent State. So without further ado, here's Senna King and she drives in, finishes the shot through the contact, and gives the Zips a 54-53 victory over Kent State. And that's all the top plays we have for this show, but be sure to tune in next time.
As we check our studio clock, we reached the end of this week's ZTV Sports Report.
With all the talk about the MAC tournament, that means that our men's basketball season is coming to a close, but baseball and softball have started their season.
That's right. The next time you'll see us, we'll recap the entire MAC tournament for basketball.
And then we will catch up to see what's going on in the Diamond Field.
We will see you all next time.
Thanks for watching.
The following program was produced by an independent producer not affiliated with ZTV. The views or opinions expressed in the show do not reflect the views of ZTV or the University of Akron.